Hello everyone, welcome back to another Blender chessboard video, and today I'm going to be finishing off the chessboard by making a camera rotation. And this camera format is what I'm going to be using for all my future projects. So first of all, what I'm going to do, I'm going to raise all of my pieces so it stands on the y-axis. And now that I have that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to open up my camera, and let me just sort of move it to where I want. And if you do have a numpad on your keyboard, what you can do is you can take one specific scene, Control, Alt, and then numpad 0, and that's going to create a camera. But if you don't, it's better to just manually make it. So I think this is a nice view for my camera. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to add an empty. So empty, and then plain axes. Also, if you don't have a camera, you can just add one right now. And now what we're going to do, let me try something. So let me see. Okay. So if I need to, okay, turntable with the empty. So I'm pretty sure it's camera first and then empty. So we're going to try this and then Control P to parent, and we're going to set parent to just object. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to the first frame and I'm going to and I'm going to set rotation. And now I'm going to go to wherever I want to end. Right now, because it's 30 frames per second, I might make one turn about maybe 10 seconds, so we can have our end at 300. And now we're going to go to 300. We're going to change our Z rotation to 360. And now I can click rotation. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to change my end frame to 299. So now if you see, what happens is basically it's going to rotate, and then basically when it ends, it's going to start the rotation again. And if you want to make it better, we're gonna right click, and we're gonna go to interpolation mode, and we're going to click linear. And now that's just going to keep spinning. So I think that's good. And now that we have that done, we can make the ground or the background. So I'm going to add a plane. I'm going to scale this plane out. I'm going to move it. Scale it out more. And now I'm going to go into edit mode, edge select, and I'm going to select these two edges on the back, and I'm going to E to extrude, Z, EZ. So I think that's good, but we can make this a little less smaller. Let's go back into edit mode, and we're going to select these three over here, and then Control B to bevel, and of course we're going to scroll to make it like that. And now you can see that we have that problem. First of all, what I want to do is I'm going to take my camera, or not my camera, I'm going to take my empty here, which I will move actually to the middle of my chessboard. And what I'm basically going to do, I'm going to select my background, and then I'm going to select the empty. So background and empty. Okay, wait. Let's see. I think it went into letters. Yeah. So plain, and then empty, and then Control P, object, and now the empty of course moves along with them, but I did it at the wrong time. So let me quickly undo that. And now we can just move our camera back towards the first frame. Which is over there, so RZ. Just like that. I'm going to scale it down a little until I get that. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to move and I'm going to move my camera in. So at this point we're just testing now. And I want to see the whole chessboard. So you can start moving it backwards a little bit more. Again, backwards. And I think that's good. Now we need to edit our background. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to make 2 cuts there. And now I can edge select this, G to move. And then because that's going to stay in the same place, I don't have to worry about it looking any different. So let me quickly just move this up. And then I also want to make 2 cuts this way. So now I can select this one and move, not rotate, move this over here. And then I'm going to go into my y-axis, G, and I'm going to move it up. So that looks nice, and I can almost see the whole thing. So there we go. Let me just move this one as well. So now I can see the whole thing, of course. And let me get out of edit mode. I do also want to add sort of like a color to it. Maybe sort of a, let me think. I think white would be too plain. Maybe like a darkish blue color. Sort of like that. I think that looks good. And now it's time for us to parent this. So the plain and the empty, and parent, Control P, object. And now I think that looks pretty nice. Yeah, looks pretty nice. And now what we're going to do, I can see that now. I need to fix that. Go into edit mode. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to select this, go into negative X, G to move it up. So now it should look even. Yeah, so I think that looks good. And now it's time to add our edits. or edits as in lights. So now I'm going to go out of camera mode. I'm gonna go back to the first frame, which starts over here. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to add, and I'm going to add light, and I'm going to add an area light. Because for this project, I think for any turntable part, an area just works better. And now what we're going to do, I'm going to have it move over here, basically, and I'm going to have it point towards the board. So sort of like this. Yeah, I think that's good. And then we're going to change this to about 500 watts. Now let's see how it looks here. Okay, 500 is not enough. So about 1,300 might be the best thing. And now I'm just going to copy and paste this. Don't scale it out. I'm going to move this over here. Z, V. Yeah, there. And then just rotate that. And then I'm going to shine that onto the gold pawns, or gold pieces. And now I think that actually looks pretty nice. And I think keeping the lights like this might be better. But at the same time, I want the lights to shine on everything. So we're going to test parenting my lights to the empty. So Control P and select the light first. Control P. Now of course it moves along with it. Now there isn't too much of a difference, but I do think having the light move with the object is much better because it actually looks nice. And now if we turn off that, we can see this. I really like this. I think this was one of my favorite projects. And don't forget to save, because my project did crash while I was testing this. But I think this turned out great, and I really loved my chessboard. And so this is the end of the chessboard series, and I hope to see you later. Bye.